What is going on, guys? It's your boy Domes here, and today we're reacting to 7 details we may not know about Gears E-Day. Let's go ahead and watch this. I'm curious. With this whole Gears of War E-Day news, guys, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm super happy now to just make E-Day's content, just react to content, make content, because I'm gonna be honest, this is the best moment. I don't think anybody expected us to go back in time. We thought we was gonna get Gears of War 6. They're completely leaving that whole Gears 6 idea, and they're going completely back to the Gears E-Day 14 years before it got one. So I'm actually happy about that. Let's actually watch this video though. Original link will be in the description, by the way.
There have been more than a few rumblings over recent weeks that Microsoft would be using the Xbox Game Showcase as the stage to announce the next Gears of War game, something that series fans were desperately hoping was true. What with Gears 5 now being 5 years old. And sure enough, Microsoft did announce the next Gears game at the recent event.
Yep.
Though it wasn't Gears 6, the way that pretty much everyone had thought it would be. Instead, the Coalition and Microsoft have unveiled Gears of War E-Day, which is being billed as the series' next mainline entry.
And I'm so glad we're leaving the idea of Gears 6. Now we're going back to Gears of War E-Day. Can't get any better than that, man.
In spite of technically being a prequel, and yes, it's Gears of War again, not just Gears. Though its announcement trailer was a brief one, it did reveal some key details about the game, which the Coalition revealed even more of in a companion piece that went up on Xbox Wire shortly after the game was officially announced. As such, here, we're going to go over all the key details that we've learned about Gears of War E-Day.
Come on, man!
Setting. As mentioned, Gears of War E-Day is going to serve as a prequel to the series' mainline entries, and in particular, the original trilogy. As its name suggests, it's going to be set on Emergence Day, which in Gears lore was the day that Emergence holes opened up all over the planet of Sera in Gears of War lore, only for the Locust Horde to come pouring out, overwhelming an ill-prepared planet. The game set 14 years before the events of Gears of War 1, and somewhere between the events of Judgment and Tactics, we'll focus on that devastating incident and how the people of Sera struggle to deal with the surprise threat of the horrifying Locust.
Nice.
And of course, driving that story will be a couple of very familiar heroes.
I'm so happy Dom is back, man.
Here, put this on. You'll need it.
Dom and Marcus, the two main characters.
You could get in a lot of trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed. We better go.
Marcus and Dom.
Woo,
Marcus Phoenix has been the face of the Gears of War franchise for as long as it's been around. Though after appearing in Gears 4 and 5 as a non-playable character, albeit a crucial one, demand for him to return as a playable protagonist has only been growing. With Gears of War E-Day, the Coalition is giving fans what they want on that front. A young Marcus Phoenix will once again star as the central playable protagonist.
Good idea.
He will be joined by another pivotal fan-favorite character in the form of Dominic Santiago, who makes his first appearance since 2011's Gears of War 3. Marcus and Dom formed an unshakable bond of brotherhood over the course of the original Gears trilogy, and with E-Day, we're going—
They look so young here too, man. They look super young, man. And the graphics look so much better.
to see that relationship in its formative years. Origins. Set 14 years before the series' first installment, Gears of War E-Day is unsurprisingly being billed as an origin story in several ways. For starters, we are of course going to see the origins of the war between humanity and the Locust, beginning with Emergence Day. Beyond that, we'll also see the origins of Marcus and Dom's friendship. Interestingly enough, the basic—
That's what I was wondering, if they were gonna go back and show us how they became friends, how the whole process went from beginning to end. And I'm assuming with this new E-Days game, that's exactly what they plan on doing, is showing like the whole storyline with them.
Of their friendship heading into the game's story will be Carlos, Dom's brother, and Marcus's best friend who died on the field of battle before the game's events.
They killed it with this trailer, bro. This is one of the best Gears trailers ever.
We're telling the origin story of Marcus and Dom and their bond. This is the bond that defines the franchise, says creative director Matt Cersei. They're not the characters we know from Gears 1 to 3. They don't have 10 years of fighting the Locust between them. When the game opens, there's supposed to be peace on Sera, and they're trying to figure out life without this person they both loved. People are going to see the formation of this brotherhood that is so iconic to Gears.
So we do get the storyline.
We do get it. Story. With both Marcus and Dom being much younger and greener in E-Day than we've ever seen them in any of the Gears of War games in the past, they're also going to be portrayed a little differently than what fans may be used to. In fact, according to brand director Nicole Fawcett, E-Day is going to tell a much more intimate story with more modern characterization for the protagonists.
Wow.
They are a lot more vulnerable, and I think that's really a modern take on these two characters, Fawcett says. There's a weight they carry between them, and that creates a really interesting tension as they navigate their own relationship. You have this intimate story set amid the wider backdrop of what's happening on this apocalyptic day. I think, for fans, it'll be really compelling to dig deep and explore their bond and how it changes over time. Horror vibes.
Yes, that's what I
As
wanted.
The Gears of War franchise
Bring the
has
vibes
moved
back.
From game to game, an increasing number of fans have bemoaned the fact
they were making the game like Fortnite. We're going back to the gritty, dark. Yeah. We're going back to those days. Yeah.
that the series has lost the strong horror-esque vibes that its original installments, especially the first game, were so rich in. With Gears of War E-Day, however, it looks like the Coalition is relenting to fans' demands and delivering a more horror-style experience. In fact, one of the things that the studio has focused on during the game's development,
Look at the detail. He has a cut on his lip. Like, bro, this looks perfect.
is ensuring that the game once again presents the Locust as a formidable, mysterious, terrifying enemy, something that hasn't really been the case in some time. The design brief was pretty simple, says creative director Matt Cersei. Locusts are the monsters under the bed. What would happen to the people of Serra in seeing this overwhelming army of monsters and trying to figure out, what are you going to do?
Yup.
An example of the Locust's renewed threat is the redesign of the Locust drone, an enemy type that has turned into a non-threatening grunt over the years, but is going back to being a legitimate threat with E-Day. When players experience E-Day, they see the monsters through the eyes of these encountering them for the first time, says art director Aaron Hanback. We transformed the drone into something fearsome, physically intimidating, and utterly brutal. Getting the drone right was crucial. Everything else with the Locusts, we're scaling up from there.
Nice.
Classic action, next-gen tech. While Gears of War E-Day might look on the surface like a back-to-the-basics entry for the series, for the Coalition, it's more about delivering more of the classic cover-based third-person combat that the series has become known for.
Exactly.
While also offering completely new and, as per the studio, groundbreaking
This
tech.
could be one of the
It's going to
greatest.
feel like a new
This could be one of the greatest Gears of War games of all time. Literally, it could be one of the greatest Gears of War games easily. Good mechanics, one of the best graphics. It could have one of the best graphics that any of the Gears game has ever had. They make it gritty and horror. Like, bro, this game could be perfect. This could be the game that literally defines like a whole nother genre for Gears, like a whole nother lane.
Gears
We can
game
go back
because
to blowing
that's
up.
what it is, Cersei says.
Come on! Lock us!
It's us revisiting that tone and the feeling of what makes Gears great.
Wow.
But we're tapping into new techniques, new processes, and new technology that's going
technology.
to make the gameplay feel better than ever. Specifically, where the trailer is concerned, it's been confirmed that though it was made in-engine by Blur Studios using in-game assets provided by the Coalition, so it's only sort of representative of what the final game is going to look like.
Wow.
Future of the franchise.
Yep.
As exciting as a new Gears of War game is, especially one with E-Day's lofty promises, one has to wonder, why isn't the Coalition making Gears 6, especially considering
We
the
do not
massive
care.
cliffhanger ending
We
that
do
Gears
not-
5 signed off?
We do not care about no goddamn Gears of War 6. I'm actually glad they're disabling Gear 6 and they're going to their roots. I'm actually glad. Nobody give a fuck. Nobody give a fuck about Gear 6.
But not if we find her first.
Marcus.
Studio says that though it will return to that story at some point, it felt telling the story of E-Day was an opportunity it couldn't pass up.
Smart.
We're super proud about Gears 4 and Gears 5 and the stories that were told, says brand director Nicole Fawcett. We're not retreating from that storyline in any way, but in this moment, we had an opportunity to write our next step, and this one just felt too good to miss. The Coalition is also making its point to emphasize that Gears of War E-Day is not a spin-off and is instead being designed from the ground up as the next big mainline Gears entry.
Oh, another
Even if it's not a
mainline.
numbered title and doesn't continue the series' ongoing story. According to the developer, the game will also add detail and context to this period that will resonate through stories that will follow.
Wow.
Hey, did you know the way
Great video. Great video. Hey. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. They're going back to we're going back to a time period in Gears where Gao 1 didn't even exist yet. Gao 2 did not exist, and neither did Gao 3. Can y'all imagine the mechanics that game could potentially have? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The fact that we're not getting Gears of War 6 or Gear 6, sorry, I'm actually glad about that. I'm glad that we have back in the title Gears of War, because they had removed it in the first place. They just made it Gears. People did say Gears outside, but if you told somebody that what game do you play, you would say Gears of War 3 or Gears of War, so they can know what's going on. But hey man, I'm excited for our Gears of War E-Day. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think most of us are excited right now. I think you guys are excited as well. You guys get to see Dom and Marcus, how their friendship got built up in the next Gears game. We also get to see no single stick. You know what I'm saying? No single stick. What's single stick? Is a control scheme on Gears of War 5. I'm hoping they don't put emotes and all that other extra stuff into the game. Keep it nice and simple, man. I think this is all we was asking for, was an original Gears of War game, a game that feels like Gears of War. And they're doing exactly that by coming out with E-Day. I don't think anybody expected that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, it's been your boy Domes. I'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Domes, link in the description. But until next time, it's been your boy Domes, and I'm out, guys. Peace. I'm hype. I'm very hype. I'm very happy. We're getting a Gears of War game, man. Like, Gears E-Day.